Hello everyone, my name is Fiona Murphy and I work as a Vet Guidance Counsellor in Longford, Westmeath, LWETB. I'm part of a team of 5 across the guidance service, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about how we implemented a kind of a plan to support health and well-being among our learners. So I suppose first of all we'll look at why we went about this, and it started back in 2019. We decided that we would like to do something for our learners to encourage them to, I suppose, be aware of their health and well-being and to promote knowledge around that and how it helps us to reach our full potential, which is what education is about also. It was also a means to try and centralise the guidance service and increase its visibility to our learners and encourage them to come to the service. And the other thing I suppose we really wanted to achieve was for learners to feel part of the LWETB community, have a sense of belonging. As you know, education is much more than just what you learn. It's all about the sense of community and the social connection that our learners make. And finally, I suppose I would be passionate about the idea that LWETB is a perfect place to implement a healthy setting, which is really about encouraging an ethos of looking after our health and well-being on many different levels. And this was just one area that we felt we could work on, I suppose, and work at. All of these things together, I suppose, feed into the idea of being learner-centred, which is the ETB ethos, and also what it was feed into the Further Education and Training Strategy 2020 to 2024. If you look at page 45, it talks about how FET can balance the needs of skills for work with the just as critical skills for life, and the importance of a diverse provision. So I felt these wellbeing workshops were just another form of provision, I suppose, to support individuals and groups in a tailored way, using the talents within our ETB. So how did we do this? Well, set up a Wellbeing Wednesday workshop for the second Wednesday of each month at 1 p.m. We were very kindly funded through our CEF, BTI coordinator and adult literacy coordinator to provide tutors for this. And we also had outside agencies take part, such as the HSE, which was really good. Topics that we covered included mindfulness, exercise, nutrition, minding your mood. And when we were on campus, we did a beauty one, which was really great because the level 6 learners came over and introduced the idea of beauty and did some beauty treatments for our learners. And we also had a craft one. So we advertise these on our weekly guidance newsletter. We also send it out to all of our teaching staff and ask them just to forward the information to all the learners so that they can register for it. So here's just an example, I suppose, of one of our registration or advertising formats. And you can see it's quite simple and straightforward. At the bottom there was a link to click on to register for the event, but there was also my email address and phone number if people were not comfortable using the registration form. So we didn't really want to lose anybody, of course. So what has changed due to COVID? Well, as I said, originally there was a pilot project that was on campus in Longford. So really COVID opened up the opportunity to deliver the workshops to Longford Westmeath learners, which was really great. It went completely online. We did try back in May 2020, we started this process, but then we were back in the centres, of course, in September. So it didn't really take hold until January of this year, 2021, when we started again and really felt that people were in a place where they needed a bit of self-care and a bit of time for themselves. Now, it hasn't been without its challenges either, which we will look at in the next slide. So the biggest challenge, I suppose, for us in guidance is that we don't have direct access to learners. So we are consistently asking tutors to send out the information to learners, apart from obviously our advertising and the newsletter and that. So we really, really appreciate the work that tutors do in getting that information across to our learners. The digital divide has been an issue, I suppose, from the point of view of we have noticed that our higher level learners are more willing and able to access the online workshops. We have tried to address this in that we do offer support using Microsoft Teams before each event. So we would do a trial run with somebody if they wanted it. They can indicate it in their registration form, or they can just ring me and let me know, and we talk them through how to use Teams and give them some advice on that. And to be honest, I see it as an opportunity for guidance to really support people in this change to online, and hopefully that if they are online doing a wellbeing workshop where they can sort of relax and enjoy the content, that it will encourage them and give them confidence to know that they can access online courses and that they can be confident in online interviews and so on. So really it's about leaving nobody behind and bringing everybody forward in this digital jump or leap that we have made. A big challenge, I suppose, that we've come across is that the funding for tutors, it cannot be done outside their CIDs. So there's a little bit of work involved. I do regret when I have to ask somebody for the funding and then they have to go off and find out, well, do they have CID available to them? It would be great. We have such a fantastic bank of talent within our ETB, as all ETBs do. And it's fantastic to use that talent and to be able to access it easily. So just for the 1 hour a month, it would be great if we could do that outside of the CID and put a little bit less time and work into looking into that. We did review the time for the workshop. We had chosen 1 o'clock because that's when most of our part-time courses had ended on campus. And so it made sense for people to just walk in afterwards before they went home. And also it was lunchtime for our full-time courses, so if they wanted to join that they could. It seems to be working quite well. I don't think there's any time that will suit everybody. Perhaps it's a thing about maybe putting on a second one every month and putting it at a different time, maybe around 11. And some tutors might allow their classes to join the workshop then, and really integrate it into their education. So another thing I suppose that I've started to consider in my time organising these workshops is just around well-being and its concept. And while it is thrown around quite often now as a buzzword at the moment, that it wouldn't lose its value, I suppose, that its importance in our everyday life. And I would really hope that LWETB and all ETBs going forward can see the benefit of helping people to improve their well-being and how that can benefit their overall performance on courses and in life going forward. So really it's about going back to what I was saying about LWETB becoming a healthy setting and really putting it into action on the ground. So it's not a case of just walking out of the wellbeing workshop and forgetting about it then for the rest of the month. But there's other things going on in the centre throughout, integrated into our education modules that can help people as well. It has really encouraged interagency participation. Like I said, we had a speaker from the HSE, the health promotion officer actually was very, very successful. I've been speaking with MABs and Citizens Information and loads of different organisations that will hopefully be able to deliver workshops going forward and really it opens up again the sense of collaboration with these agencies, and letting them know that we're around and available for referrals as well. So it reminds them of our service. So here are just some comments from the participants on the course, which was really lovely to get, every time we have a workshop, I send out a survey afterwards to get this kind of feedback, to get suggestions on what other courses they would like to do during the workshop. So this is really what helps me to plan and to kind of understand what it is that our learners are looking for, so that we can really remain learner-centred, I suppose, rather than assuming what it is people want. And to see these positive comments, I just think fantastic. If we've helped one person to make one small change, it has been worth it. And I really hope that ETBs across the country do see the value in promoting health and wellbeing among our learners. So thank you so much for listening. My contact details are there if anybody has any questions or queries or wants any more information. Please feel free to get in touch.